Did it ever cross your mind that something like this can ever happen to you?
No.
Most people who experience sexual harassment don't report it because they're afraid that they will get blamed and get fired, and don't want to suffer any consequences. There's a large problem in our society where people blame the victim. This causes men and women to blame themselves for the harassment, asking themselves what they did to encourage the harassment to take place, and men think that they can't report it for the fear of being made fun of, since there's a belief that men can't be sexually harassed, which is false.
At first, I was confused, and then later, as I learned more of the details, I was humiliated, and something like this shouldn't have happened to me. For a while, I thought part of what had happened to me was my fault, but I know after talking with my close friends that it isn't my fault. But I still put some blame on myself for a long time until I realized it wasn't my fault at all.
How did it happen?
I was at a company dinner and alcohol was involved. By the end of the night, I had already been blacked out. I insisted on walking home because I lived 2 blocks down the street. But one of my coworkers offered to take me home, and everyone else agreed that I should go with him because it can be dangerous at night in LA. I ended up taking that ride because my coworkers trusted him. Next thing you know, I woke up naked and confused. The room I woke up in was not mine. I look around to see my coworker who was supposed to take me home. He explained that I was the one initiating sexual advances, but that behavior wasn't like me. And I knew that I had been taken advantage of that night.
Too often aspersions are cast on anyone coming forward, from they're just doing it to get rich, to they're just doing it for revenge, to why are they coming forward now? And it is strange that we go there so quickly, because that just doesn't happen with other traumatic events. If your house burnt down, you wouldn't expect a newscaster to immediately start asking, why are you coming forward now? Was this insurance fraud? Was your house wearing something flammable? And is it even on fire at all? Because where is the line between fire and not fire anymore? It's so hard to tell. I'm terrified to be around houses anymore. But with sexual harassment, that is so often where this conversation immediately goes, with immediate concern less for the victim and more for the accused.
Stanford University did a research study and found that 88% of women in America experience some sort of sexual harassment. 1 in 4 of these women experience sexual harassment at work, and 75% of the women who experience sexual harassment at work didn't report it.
What are your views on harassment in the workplace?
My view is that it is unacceptable but somehow unavoidable. I have felt a little uneasy at every job I've ever had. There have been instances where a coworker has engaged in conversations in front of me or with me that have crossed lines.
Has anyone filed harassment at your job you've been at?
No, I've never known anyone to file.
How do you handle harassment in the workplace?
I don't know how to handle it. I feel like it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. My work claims to be strict on harassment, but I'm not sure that I believe that.
What policies would you put in the workplace about harassment?
I don't know what policies could be put in place. It's a general social problem, not just a workplace problem.
In 1991, Anita Hill testified for 8 hours in front of the Senate Judiciary Committee, enduring humiliating questions from a panel of world-class arseholes. She's now a professor at Brandeis University and was kind enough to meet with me.
It has been 27 years since you testified in front of the Senate. What has changed in that time?
Oh, there's been a tremendous amount of change. There's been a change in public attitude, and there's been a change in the amount of information that we have about sexual harassment. There's certainly more awareness after the Me Too movement. Even a few years ago, people were ambivalent about what the consequences should be if someone is behaving incredibly badly and abusing people they work with.
Yeah, I guess the problem is there that awareness of a problem doesn't necessarily make something better. I've been aware of Coldplay for years, but that hasn't seemed to help the issue go away.
You're right. People were aware of it, but there was no consensus on what should we do about it.
When do you think this problem will finally be fixed? Do you think it'll be wrapped up before or after the ice caps are gone? I'm just trying to work out whether a safe workplace and polar bears are mutually exclusive.
Well, the ice caps are melting pretty fast.
Okay.
And the change here seems to be glacially slow.
Right.
But I will say that if we do nothing, the change is not going to come.